evolved over time to ensure that we can be able to give the best for our audiences. Back in the day, you couldn't, for example, have a situation whereby you're doing a production with different people, let's say an entire crowd, lighting, all these things, and over time have evolved to ensure that the production that comes on stage at the end of the process is definitely something worthwhile.
I've seen a theater being a foundation to so many people out here, to so many actors, actresses, people right now. They are on national platforms. So when you're doing this, how is it for you when you just think about there's somebody who started their film career with theater, and now they're just on national platforms? We're seeing Kate actress on Netflix doing amazing things. Yeah.
It's a stepping stone, right? It's definitely a milestone in an actor's journey, and not just an actor, but every other player within the industry, whether you're a producer, whether you're a writer, you understand, or whether you've decided to take on a different tangent altogether. It is definitely a stepping stone, because what theater does is that it hones you down, it grills you and gives you an opportunity to be able now to, shake off whatever it is that may be, keeping you back, so that by the end of it, you become refined. By the time you're getting to the screen, you are, how can I be able to say this? Perfect, lacking nothing. You understand? And that is most the case for very many actors here in Kenya. Yeah. It also depends on your particular journey as an individual. Remember, where we are in Kenya right now, as far as theater is concerned, we have not reached lengths, let's say, for example, of Broadway productions. You understand? And that is where I would want to see Kenyan productions get to, right? In other words, we can have a production running not just for a particular weekend, which is most of the case here in, Nairobi, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's have a production running for 2 months. Let's have a production running for 3 months, 1 year. You understand? Let's have a production running for an entire period of, let's say, 10 to 25 years. Phantom of the Opera, a production that is being done in Broadway, or rather has been done in Broadway, has run for the longest time possible. They, at one point, were celebrating 25 years, one production. You understand? So it depends as well with your journey and with your desire as a performer. Would you like to use theater as a stepping stone to greater, or rather to getting into film? Or would you want to remain and develop the industry to now a greater length? Yeah.
And how do you get to a point where maybe there's somebody who's watching us and probably so young, and they're like, I want to venture into the movie industry, but I don't know where to start. I don't know where to begin. I don't feel like if I go to theater, it's something that will put me out there. Because remember, this is live production. People are coming to see you. It's not where you're on a movie set and people say cut and then you repeat all over again. So how, for a very young person at that point in time, what would you advise them to, how do you get your niche?
The first thing that I would tell them is, number one, go for an audition. Find out how the experience is. There are auditions everywhere, right? Both for stage productions and screen productions, right? Go for these auditions. Find out how they are done. Find out what is required of you, right? And then from there, begin now to develop yourself in accordance to whatever it is that you have been told you need to have. That's the first step. The second thing is, everyone thinks that they're talented, right? And we pray that they are. If you have a talent, or rather if you think you have a talent, right? Then develop the skill towards refining that talent so that you can be able to bring something to the table. Any given producer or any given director is not going to just rely on your individual abilities, but what else can you be able to bring on the table to ensure that what production that is being made can be able to be, worthwhile. So first of all, put yourself out there. The second thing, refine your skill, right? And then after you've refined your skill, both in screen and on stage, then you can be able to understand which area you would want to remain, which area you would want to grow. And also there will be different people who will advise you on the same to ensure that you can be able to develop yourself. Yeah.
So what I'm getting from you is you need to be an all-rounded person at some point.
Of course.
Just to...
And it's not just we are basically acting, right, and telling stories. It's just on different platforms. And these two different platforms are going to offer you different experiences, right? And those experiences are also going to be different as far as the audience is concerned, right? So find which one it is that you're comfortable with, and then take that road and go along with it and see where it's going to take you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, you have this particular production that you want to do about maybe something happening in the society. You've talked about Valentine's Day.
Yes.
How do you get to choose this, to decide that, you know what, this is probably the person who suits this kind of set. This is the person who we're gonna do this love story with. Does it mean that when I am an actor, I can get to fit in all the roles?
No. If you are an actor, it would be good if you could fit in every role that a writer can be able to create. But most often than not, and the truth is, you really cannot, right? And it's good that you can, because then we have diversity. We wouldn't have only one person being given all the jobs just because they're talented. It's good when we have this, need with regard to different productions, right? Different actors have different abilities when it comes to any given production, right? And
so it's not necessarily you get to do everything.
You can't do everything. In fact, it's good that God created us that we can't do everything, because we would end up doing everything. And then that now breeds selfishness, right? And I don't think anyone would want to go in that direction, right? It would be good if you can be an all-rounded individual or an all-rounded actor, but there is always going to be that one role that you cannot be able to, that is definitely going to offer you a challenge in one way or the other. And those are the best kind of roles. In our part as the production team, what we usually look at is, can you be able, for example, what I look at, can you be able to sing? Can you be able to act well? Can you be able to portray emotion? Can you be able to make me laugh? Can you be able to be, a serious person? Or are you just a whimsical, funny guy? You understand? All these different things have different elements, and they will fit in a particular story best. You understand? And those are some of the ways that we can be able to identify and now cast different people.
So does theater production pay?
It does. It does. It does pay. Probably not in the way that I would want it to, because I can see the potential that the industry has. When you have, Nairobi, I don't really remember the last census, how many people are in Nairobi, but, give or take, we are playing around 4 to 5 million, right? Now, if 1 million people in Nairobi went to theater productions, right? That would mean that we would be having a theater production literally every day at the National Theatre. And not just there, but at the different theaters that there are here in Nairobi, because the capacity of the National Theatre cannot, let's say, it sits about 350 individuals at a particular time. So it cannot be able to, let's say, for example, to accommodate 1 million people at a specific span of time. You understand? So if only, let's say, 1 million people get to go to theater, then the industry will be able now to get to a point whereby people can actually say that they can make a generous, leave alone even a comfortable, but a generous living